Chair, fellow members and most welcome guests. So, I used to belong to the Dauncey WI over 15 years ago, and there was one evening when the speaker hadn't turned up. So we decided to have our tea and biscuits first, while we waited for her. As we were finishing our refreshments, she still hadn't arrived. So I volunteered to do an impromptu speech. I spoke about equine-assisted therapy, and my opening statement was I didn't realise I was doing more than just giving riding lessons when one of my customers, Catherine, came up to me, and I'd been giving her lessons for about a year, and she said to me, "I'm leaving my husband." I'm like, "What?" She said, "Because of all these lessons you've given me in having a relationship with my mother's horse, her mother's horse, she'd realised that she wasn't happy in her marriage." I was quite amazed because this was a revelation to me, because I thought I was just giving her riding lessons, how to ride this horse, but she'd actually realised that that whole thing was about a relationship that she wasn't happy with. The speaker then arrived, and having got lost, I relinquished the speaker's spot. But the WI members subsequently asked me if I would do that speech again in full, because they were fascinated, which I did. So this year, over 15 years later, I was contacted by the secretary asking me to do another speech for them, as the members had not forgotten the one I did many years ago and asked for me again. And I thought, wow, that's quite good, isn't it? I didn't want to repeat the one about my horses, they'd already heard that, and as I've moved on from doing that, I don't do equine-assisted therapy anymore, though I still interact with horses. I said I would talk about my book called Radical Home Education. This is what I've written about the journey through home education into adulthood. This was acceptable for them. When preparing for the speech, it's important that you're properly prepared. I had my notes on my laptop. I decided to take my tall tripod because I wasn't sure how their room was set out. I had my big roller banner with me. I had my books and other props, and I had my mobile phone. I arrived early in good time to set up. For some reason, my tall tripod wouldn't have my phone the right way round. Oh, I wish I'd brought the short one. Okay, I'll set up my laptop. Where? It's not in my car. Oh, I left it at home. Thankfully, I just lived round the corner. I was in the village next door, and so I whizzed home, gathered up my laptop, and I picked up the short tripod that I knew worked, and I got back and proceeded to put my roller banner up, or struggled to do so, and hence needed assistance. I need practice in how to do this. Once I had all my equipment in place, I was ready and I got started. So I was quite grateful when Gina turned up a little bit late. I stopped talking and I realised that I'd not pressed go on my phone after all that, and I'd missed the beginning, not a lot. I was able to repeat the beginning for Gina, which was, in our country today, education is compulsory for children aged between 5 years old and 16 years old. However, who is responsible to ensure that these children receive an appropriate education? What do you guys think? Who is responsible for ensuring these children receive an education? And don't you two say anything. Any ideas?
The bottom line would be the parents.
Yes, actually. The number of people that actually say, well, the school or the government or the authorities, but one woman actually did say, quite quietly, the parents, which is the truth. And I was able to give them what the law that stated this. But by asking the audience a question, it got them involved in thinking about what I was talking about. I settled into the speech and it flowed well. It provoked questions and general conversation. I was pleased with how it went, and I even sold one of my books, yes. My lesson learnt from this experience is to make sure that you are fully prepared with all the equipment and how it works properly. Be prepared.